Hi there, my name is Coach Kanye and welcome to Life with Kanye. So many of you ask me, okay coach, I want to do the work, but I don't know where to start, first of all. Number two, coaching and therapy can be so expensive. What can I do in the meantime when I'm studying and I want to invest in myself, but I don't have the amount of investment that I need to have a coach or to even have a therapist for that matter? What should I be doing? My answer to that is always books, and it will always be books. But here's the thing about books: you have to apply what you're reading. You can't just read to read and expect it to work for you. It's not going to. It is not going to work. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 5 books that completely changed my life. And if you are like, I don't know what to read, I'm gonna tell you about each of them. That was really dramatic, but you know what I'm trying to get at with this. So the first book that I want to encourage you to get, I have them spread out here, is The Gifts of Imperfection by Brené Brown. This book is going to transform your life. Again, only and only if you apply what you are reading. So I came out about 11 years now. I was 27 when I came out, and I was so into like the shame and guilt, the internalized homophobia that comes from being in or growing up in the church for as long as I did. I really struggled with that identity. I struggled with embracing it. I've always known that I was queer, even when I was in that space, but fully coming out was hard. I had so much shame and guilt to work through. And this book that very year was introduced to me by a friend of mine, and it really shifted the ways in which I saw guilt and shame, and how I cultivated self-compassion and self-love and self-kindness and being tender with myself and those around me. It also helped me cultivate the courage to stand in my truth and live in my authenticity. What I also love about this book, it is written so simply. It's like she's having a conversation with you, and you see her own vulnerability come out in the book because she talks about herself as well. She's telling you about her struggles, where she has looked. So it's based on research that she did on people who live wholeheartedly, people who show up in the world, let themselves be seen, and continuously show up in that way. And so this book is written within that knowledge and within that research, but Dr. Brené just does an amazing job of using her own life story as an example. It's sort of like a very smart memoir. That's what it is. Beautiful. So you don't know what to read first, read this, and also have your journal with you when you're reading. You don't know where to get a journal, I'll put one on the description in this video so you can go get that journal for yourself, because you're going to need it as you are doing this work. The second book I want you to read, The Mountain Is You. This book helps you stop making excuses for yourself. It's like you are the issue. Transforming self-sabotage into self-mystery. I've spoken about this book before. A lot of you have bought this book, but honestly, I am going to keep bringing it up because it is so powerful. It's also so confronting because it is so easy to live our lives blaming other people for what's happened to us, and that blame can feel so justified because people have treated us like shit, right? And so we can use that blame and be victims of life, or we can just simply say, that happened to me. I am going to work on healing it because I don't want you to avoid the healing too, but also I am not going to let it hold me back anymore. I am going to get out of my own way. So this book helps you realize that you are in your own way. I need some water because I am talking a lot, and today I brought my half a gallon of water for you. So these two books, and then the other book that is this one, The Power of Now. I'm somebody that is always has been curious about spirituality, And one of the things that were really hard for me when I came out was leaving the church, first of all, the community. And there was this part of me that felt like I couldn't have a relationship with God now that I had come out. But I realized that my spirituality has nothing to do with religion. Spirituality simply means connecting with the divinity that lives inside of all of us. No matter who we are, who we love, what our race is, there is divinity within each of us, especially if you believe so, right? So this book is so beautiful. I will tell you though that it's not an easy book to get into. It's a slow burner. It's a slow read. It has a lot of parables in it. You can almost like picture talking to like an old person and they're just giving you wisdom. And it actually took me 3 tries to really get into it and to actually even finish the book. This book helps me also. One thing he says kind of like throughout the book, and this one thing really helps me when I'm having to make a big decision, whether to take the trip, whether to spend the money, whether to make a call, whether to reconnect with somebody. And the line is, we are on a floating rock waiting to die. And that makes me realize that whatever I want to do, whatever I want to pursue, I should be doing it right freaking now. Okay? Be in the present. Be in the present. Oh, which one do I choose next? Next up, I am going to do You're a Badass. I've read this book maybe 2.5 times, 2 times through. The third time I didn't really finish it. I should probably pick it up again because it's one of those books that are just like I just flip now and it says procrastination, perfection, and a polished beer garden. And she really has all these different topics to help you cultivate a life that shows your badassery. And it's really kind of like, I would say this book and The Mountain Is You are so similar in tone because they encourage you to look within yourself. They encourage you to tap into your inner power, to not outsource things like encouragement and support and not doing things that you want to do because people don't support you. Nobody loves me. This book is like, no, you are the badass. The mountain is you. You move so that you can live your best fucking life, right? So this book sort of have that tone. And the last book, I recently finished this one, Atomic Habits. I love this book. I love this book. I feel like it's gonna be one of those books that I keep referencing year after year, where the basic component of the book is changing your life and your habits. It's all about those small daily things that you do. It's creating small rituals, small habits that will compound with time and become life-changing habits. For me, it really helped me stick to the gym. I have been working out 4 to 5 days a week since January, and because this book has really helped me cultivate habits that support that. It's not going to be every day that I feel amazing, but also I'm not somebody that's going to rely on motivation to do anything, because this book is like, fuck motivation. What you need is discipline and consistency. And these are the topics, and he was really good at giving you activities and exercises that you can go through while you are reading the book. So these are books that I want you to start with as you are starting your journey to self-discovery, to healing, whatever it is, while you're waiting to get your monies right so you can hire a coach, right? Oh, before I keep going, do subscribe to my channel. This book, so let's just go through them real quick. The Gifts of Imperfection, The Power of Now, The Mountain Is You, You're a Badass, and Atomic Habits. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you next week. Mwah. Bye, guys.